Hello, hello, hello. I love it that everybody looks forward to hearing me say hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Kathy J Show. I am Kathy J. So happy to be seeing you and being with you today. Now, this has been my first week back since my leg surgery, and I've loved connecting with all of you. I love being here with all of you. Please stay connected with us at kathyjshow.com. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the Marshall Fire in Boulder County. All of us were glued to the TV when it happened. Those fires, they just blazed through that community so fast, so furious. We all saw the flames. But the healing on the other hand is going to take a lot of time. That fire came through fast, but the healing takes a lot longer. Psychotherapist and author Dr. Patti Ashley is here to help us understand trauma and grief. Yay! Hello, Dr. Patti. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so a lot of people do not think about the trauma and the grief of the individual people that have lost their homes. You think, oh my gosh, it's so sad, I have to get them clothes, I have to get them food. But what's going on inside of them is completely different. Explain the trauma and grief.
And I think that's so important because trauma affects everything. You know, the body just has these reactions, and we have an autonomic nervous system.
Yes, we do.
And that is there to keep us safe. So when the people were running from the fire, the autonomic nervous system was like, okay, run, go, flee.
Okay,
right. So parts of the body shut down, and the parts that need to be safe take action.
Really? So our bodies really do that, like a nervous system kind of takes over. It's not like you're in shock, but it's almost like what the flight or fight thing happens.
So all the stress hormones get activated, and adrenaline, cortisol, the amygdala goes into action, which is the primitive part of the brain that says run from the saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah, right.
The frontal lobe, which is our thinking and reasoning, is completely shut down because we have to run.
You have to run.
So the thing with that is we need that to be safe, but we also need to come back and calm.
Because some people are still operating that way, is what you're saying.
But see, this is like 2 years post-COVID.
Right.
And with the recurrence of Omicron, so people were already re-traumatized from the lockdown 2 years prior, and a lot of people hadn't even
dealt with that,
calmed from the original COVID. And even pre-COVID, we can go back to our busy lifestyles. Busy creates stress, and the definition of stress is the overwhelming feeling that I don't have the capacity to deal with what's in front of me.
Yes.
So when we're in stress, we're in trauma, and the autonomic nervous system is like active. And that doesn't help us,
deal with it to move on and process it. So would signs, if people right now are going, I'm dealing with it, if you're having appetite issues, if you're up at night, like these are all signs that you have unresolved issues happening. Heart attacks, heart races, right?
Yep.
I mean, sorry, not headaches, heart racing, like all of that, right?
All of it, because the body's in trauma and the body thinks it's in danger. And so even though, people have been helpful in giving people places to live, and, we have what we need, and that's the thing we have to remember, that we're going to have what we need, our basic needs. But then we're also in grief. So we're going to add the grief to the trauma. So as we're trying to calm the trauma, the nervous system reactions and be calm, now we're also in grief. We've lost our homes. We've lost some people have lost pets. We've lost our creature comforts, our things, our heirlooms. I mean, I want to cry. It's like a lot of devastation. And so, my work has been so much around grief and helping with people with grief. I know that you got to tell the story at least 100 times, because the body has to move the energy of the grief.
You're right. Now, Dr. Patti, I'm going to stop you right there about the speaking with people. You got to talk with everybody. Dr. Patti does have ways that we can all heal the trauma together, everybody that's within us. So don't go away. When we come back, Dr. Patti's going to try to walk us through how we can get through it. We'll be right back. That's all. Kathy J. Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathy J Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness. Kathy J. And welcome back to the Kathy J Show, everybody. Today we're talking about the trauma and the grief that many people are experiencing in the aftermath of the Marshall Fire in Boulder County. And if you're one of those people who's struggling right now We're here to help you, everybody. Psychotherapist and author Dr. Patti Ashley is here with her advice. Dr. Patti, thank you for being here.
Thanks for
now,
having me.
you live a little bit north of Boulder, and one of your friends actually came to your house while they were being evacuated from their house in Boulder, right?
She did. I was working with some clients in my office in Niwot, and the clients were going, oh, the roads are like crazy. I don't know what to do. You know, should I go? Should I stay? And so the last two clients left. My friend calls and says, I'm coming to your house. I said, okay. I get home, and we can see from my house this huge,
fire
plume of just like.
Well, it was the smoke that we saw for a while, and
Yeah.
then as it started getting darker, you saw that fire. I
Yeah.
mean, I have goosebumps right now just remembering the
Yeah.
images and
Yeah.
knowing how fast it went through.
Yeah.
Is your friend's house okay?
Her house is okay.
Okay.
She went back the next morning. They didn't have water for about a week, but her house is okay. And then, they have the ones that are closer in that are not burnt, but close enough that there's a lot of toxins in the air. And then, of course,
The
the
ash,
ones
yeah.
that are completely destroyed. So there's so many layers to this.
So many layers. So that's what we're talking about, everybody, today is just what's going on up here, because we're really worried about your mental state. So Dr. Patti has tips to help us work through the days, right? Like you were saying, take a deep breath and do things one at a time.
Yeah.
Something that simple
Yeah.
is a big deal right now for people that are going through this. Why is that?
That's so important because back to the autonomic nervous system, our frontal lobes are offline. And
Yeah.
so, but we're trying to keep our to-do list going.
Yes.
But we actually activate more of the trauma response in trying to keep the to-do list going, if that makes sense.
Really?
Because we need to tell the body that we're okay, that we're safe, that we're calm, we got this. But it's going to there's no time in trauma. So if the autonomic nervous system has had this response, you have to really work hard to remind it that even though you don't have the things that you're familiar with and you're going through grief, you're safe. You've got what you need. You're going to get through this, and you have to have this daily practice.
I was going to say, you could probably say that all day long, but you probably got to practice it, right?
Because you can't do it in your head. Again,
Yeah.
this is a body. This is a whole nervous system body experience, and so we have to.
That's amazing. I would never know that. So you're talking about activating the left brain, the right brain. It's amazing to me that you never realize how they're all connected.
Well, the right brain is our sensing feeling.
Okay.
And so you definitely want to give the right brain some messages of calm. The left brain is our thinking and our analytic mind.
Okay.
So we need both. But yes, our analytic mind oftentimes tries so hard
To drive.
figure things out,
Right.
which then creates more stress. So it's like, how do we come back to a state of calm? How do we come back to knowing that we're going to do, and that's why one thing at a time. It's like, just do one thing, because I'm imagining the to-do list are horrendously long.
The phone calls that you're going to be on,
the paperwork.
right? Just the heartache of I lost my grandma's thing, or I lost, all my children's, whatever.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so the mind is going,
Nonstop.
and that's activating the trauma.
Okay.
So we want to one thing at a time. We want to trust we're going to have what we need. We're going to get through this. People show up. And that's the thing, like Mr. Rogers used to say, look for the helpers. And there's been so many helpers, people really want to help. And so we have to allow people to help us and know that we're going to have what we need. We're also back in that grief,
Yes.
right? And so when you're in grief, and I know it all too well, is I describe it as like moving through molasses.
Right.
Like,
go slow.
You can't, life just doesn't seem to be functioning. The gears aren't quite working the
and
same.
everyone knows that feeling. We've all had that
Yeah.
feeling at one time or another. And when we come back, everybody, Dr. Patti's going to walk us through meditation. So you've always wanted to know, how is it? How do I get there? How do I calm and get the right side of my brain controlling the left side? We're going to learn. And we're also going to talk to Dr. Patti about how we can talk to our kids. We'll be right back.
Kathy J.
The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathy J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on.
Kathy J.
Welcome back to the Kathy J Show, everybody. We really appreciate you spending this half hour with us. Thank you so much for all the well wishes you've been sending me about my leg. It's tomorrow I go and have a checkup, everybody, so that'll be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. So in the aftermath of the Marshall Fire in Boulder County, everybody, we got to think about how our kids are dealing with it. They have fears, they have worries and anxieties from what they saw on TV. Psychotherapist and author Dr. Patti Ashley is here with her advice for all of us parents out there. This isn't something I thought I needed, Dr. Patti, because we're not in Boulder, but my girls saw it on TV with me, and we talked about how sad it was those people were losing their homes. And a couple days later, my 8-year-old said, "Where's our fire extinguisher?"
Yep. Yep.
And I was like, "Why are you worried about this?" And then our power went out the other night, and what's happening. So she's getting anxious when she goes to bed now. What can I do to help?
Yeah, that's so true, because there's secondary trauma for all of us, not even the ones that are in the fire. Of course, the ones that were directly affected have it really bad, but there's all of us too going through this, some survivor guilt and some secondary trauma of what if it happens to me. So especially with kids, because they don't know
how safe they are.
They don't know life. They haven't had enough life experience. And so, and especially the little ones under 7, they can't tell fantasy from reality. So they have a really hard time grasping if, why would it happen there and not to me? And how, so anything's possible. As like monsters under the bed, when they're little, right? Anything's possible. So the fears, again, they could make up all kinds of fears in their mind. So you want to talk to them. You want to reassure them. You want to tell them that they're safe. They're all also afraid of losing their caregivers.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big thing, right? And
they're afraid of losing their mom and dad. Okay, or whoever's watching. Yeah.
So you want to assure them that you're there and you're keeping them safe. Be extra patient with them. They may be acting out. Kids don't know how to say, "I'm feeling scared about the fire." They might start running around the house in circles. They might start having more nightmares. They might start doing things that really annoy you to get your attention.
And it's just them being out of sorts, like having an anxious feeling, like they just have no control?
Well, kids act out sometimes because they have a feeling inside and they don't know what it is and they don't know what to do with it.
Okay, so I have to walk them through?
You'll see behaviors, and so that's why I say we have to be so patient with little ones. Because all behaviors are usually a sign of something that's going on inside them. And so we want to be really patient and listen and say, "Hey, what's going on? Let's
talk. Okay. So open discussions, that's why you're so big about making sure you have like dinners with the family and stuff, right? Because that's your chance to talk to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and yes, we really want to connect with our kids as much as we can, like especially at bedtime. They may have a hard time going to sleep at night. Be patient with that.
Yeah. But I don't have time, Dr. Patti. We got 10 minutes. No, I'm kidding.
No, well, and that's the thing with parents is there's so many other things to do.
We are, yes.
And
but it's so important if I can help her from not carrying this with her anymore. And so it starts with, and this is a good breathing exercise I think all of us can learn, but it starts with me sitting down with her and saying, we're going to get set in our bodies, feel comfortable again, right? Those are the words I'm trying to tell her. I want you to be confident in your body, and now we're going to start breathing. Is that what I'm going to say? I know it's weird because I don't always have the right words, but more or less I want her to be comfortable.
I think as a parent, we have to do it first.
Okay, then. Well, then let's do it, Dr. Patti. Okay, so it's a breathing exercise.
It's a breathing exercise.
Okay, let's start it. Okay.
And I suggest people do this every morning when they get up, because it kind of sets the tone for the day and it tells the body it's safe. It's the magic of imagination. When we imagine that we're safe, then the body feels safe, and that's going to help us get the frontal lobe back online and get to our to-do list.
I like that.
But people don't think that. They think the opposite. I got to do the to-do list. I don't have time for this crap.
You're exactly right. That's exactly it. Especially men. I got to get up and go. Last thing they're thinking about is I need to sit still to have a better day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
I start breathing. You just get
settled. So what I'd like to do is just invite the viewers, if they want, to just get comfortable wherever they are, in your chair or sofa or whatever.
Okay.
Just get comfortable. If you want to close your eyes or stare at a point in front of you, take a deep breath into your lower belly.
Okay. My big lower belly.
Just feel it fill up with air and oxygen and life. And exhale. And when you breathe in this time, notice if there's any places in your body where you're holding tension. Maybe your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your belly, your legs, your feet. Just breathe in some extra love to that area, and then exhale that tension out. Just let it go.
Okay.
So just take another deep breath into your belly. extend the exhale if you can. That actually helps as well.
This is funny.
You can't be talking.
I know. That's why I'm. Okay, I'm with you,
Keep
Dr.
breathing.
Patti. We're breathing.
Keep breathing.
We're breathing.
Laughter's good too.
It
So
is.
breathe in. Okay, and now if there's any other place in your body that still feels tight, just kind of let it go out from the soles of your feet into the earth. Just let it go. And then I want you, if you're comfortable, you can put one or both hands on your heart.
Okay.
And the heart is actually the regulatory organ. It's not your brain. So we have to calm our heart rate to help us feel safe.
Okay.
So let's go into the heart and just imagine, breathe into the heart, breathe in love and kindness to yourself. And just feel your heart beat in and out. And then just imagine your favorite place, maybe a mountain or a river or a beach, or your favorite pet, something that brings you a really good, warm, fuzzy feeling. Just imagine that and bring that into your heart and just stay with that for a few seconds. That feeling of that place or that thing that brings you so much joy.
You got about 30 seconds.
Okay. And then take a picture of that in your heart, and when you're ready to come back, open your eyes and be with us, just know that you can always go back to that space.
I love that.
Anytime. It's always there. And that tells your body that, oh, okay, we're all right. We got it.
I do feel all right all of a sudden. Like even though I giggled through it with you, because it's hard just for Kathy to be quiet. Dead air and Kathy J do not go well together, Dr. Patti. So you just obtained something today, I'll tell you that. All right, thank you for that. When we come back, everybody, we got a lot more of Dr. Patti. We'll be right back. Thank you. Kathy J. Ramos Law is an official partner of the Kathy J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I literally just told Dr. Patti, I'm really calm right now. You really did it. You have to teach that trick to my husband. Dr. Patti has been here helping us today because there have been so many wonderful people who are helping out all those who are affected by the Marshall Fire. The generosity has been beautiful to see. Psychotherapist and Dr. Patti Ashley, she lives a little bit north of Boulder, so she saw it all going down when it happened, but there are ways that we can also help. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest ones that we were just talking about is you can help people maybe if they have kids. A lot of people with kids, it's hard to have somebody to take the kids when I need to go do adult stuff. So host some kid parties, help out that way. Right. Take the kids off the people's hands for a minute. Yep. That's huge. Helping with the debris removal. Yeah. That's also, people need that. They don't need you just donating used clothes. And that's something that you were saying don't do. There's a proper way to donate your clothes.
Yeah, someone was telling me about someone had a bag of used clothes dropped off at their door, and now they have to go through all of the clothes.
Right,
and that's just more stuff to go through.
Yeah, right.
So to just donate it to a donation center or invite your friend to come over and look and pick out what they want.
Yeah,
but don't just bring them things.
When you're speaking to the people, what about, you said don't ever say the word at least.
Yeah, because you want to have empathy and you want to listen to their story. And whenever you say at least you have your family, at least you have this, at least you have that, you're minimizing their experience and their grief. And people just want to be heard. And people, and that's what I'm saying with grief, you know, it's hard to hear people's grief stories because we feel it with them if we really have good empathy. But that's part of the process. That's how we move the grief. So people need to tell the story. This is what I've been hearing from people is they just want to talk. They also want to hug. You know, I just want to hug, or you know, just sit with some tea. Here's the thing with this, Kathy, is you can't fix it. We were talking about how this is going to go on
for years
and years and years. There's no easy fix for this, and so that's the thing. We live in a kind of a fix-it kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Well, what can we do to fix it? And that's when we get to our to-do list, and that's when we activate the trauma again. So we have to just sit with it and know one thing at a time. We're going to get there. You know, and so we need friends
Listen.
Enlightened witnesses, I call them. And then people also have a lot of survivor guilt right now, you know, and then they feel guilty that they feel guilty because it didn't happen to them. Why?
Yes,
but
that's also happening.
That's the secondary trauma that everybody has. And so we all have to take care of ourselves. That's the thing. Parents, caregivers, people who want to help have to do these meditations that I was talking about earlier, at least quiet the mind, even if it's taking a walk or something to just go, okay, I'm safe in this moment. We have to come back to present moment.
Thank you so much, Dr. Patti.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I love it when you come on the show. Thank you.
I love to
All
be
right,
here.
so everybody, if you want to help out there, you can help by gift cards. Those are also amazing as well. You can support the Boulder Community Foundation and American Red Cross. Go to coloradogives.org/CO Fires. Dr. Patti also is having a class, Mandala, Saturday, January 22nd in Niwot. She's going to help you activate the right brain. PattiAshley.com to sign up. Thank you so much, Dr. Patti. You're the best.